Good evening, me and Amber are here in Walsall to experience Walsall Scare Maze's, well, performance of the ward. I don't know whether you can see it very well in that shot, but there are plenty of B-roll for you to enjoy, as you enjoy, don't you?
I love a good bit of B-roll.
Yeah, so this is a bit of a strange area. Like, you know, it doesn't look like there's going to be a scare maze here, but they've done really well at dressing this area up, and we've heard really good things about this.
I've heard it's really scary.
Like, I had a little glimpse, no spoilers, like glimpse, at Scared Tour's review of this, and it looks pretty terrifying. Yeah. So very excited for this one. We're going to head inside and we'll talk to you about it afterwards. Those of you that enjoy a drink at these events, what do they have here, Amber?
We've got a cheeky little dark fruit,
yeah,
which is my favourite.
So they have a fully licensed bar here, don't they, Amber?
And it's got all the different flavours. Is it
Ciroc vodka, yeah. So
just in case you need it before you go in.
We're just trying to calm our nerves, aren't we? I'm actually getting a little bit worried now.
I'm excited.
I've heard some horror stories about this attraction. I'm a little bit nervous.
I've heard a few people coming out, like, when we're sat in the bar, because when the exit is the bar.
Yeah, we saw some
and I've heard a couple of people.
Good reviews.
It's good
really
reviews,
good reviews.
It's a bit freaky.
A little bit terrifying. We'll see you on the other side. So it's been a few days since we actually recorded at Walsall Scare Maze. We didn't want to film anything afterwards because we wanted to go away and really kind of think about what we actually thought of the attraction. Because this was a bit of a tricky one for me to kind of review in my head, and I think you had some issues with it as well. But, you know, we've wrote down a whole load of stuff. We've got, like, the laptop here.
Yeah,
and
we're prepared.
We're probably more prepared than any other time, actually. So, I'm going to start off with, like, the kind of setup of the event, which I quite liked the layout of the area. It was, once you walked in, it's like a nice little outdoor seating area with, like, tables everywhere.
Yeah.
There's, like, a nice cosy little area, wasn't there, at the top with, like, a kind of U-shaped, like,
yeah, and I think that
thing.
was the only bit that was undercover.
Yeah, that was undercover.
Yeah.
Which I can see being a bit of an issue when it's raining, because the queue line isn't actually undercover at all, is it?
Yeah, and that's the only bit, like, out of the whole, like, area that is undercover. Which
well, despite the bar.
Yeah,
but the bar is very small.
Yeah, it wouldn't hold a lot of people in there.
No, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was quite nice. They had a couple of restaurants. They had a couple of, like, food outlets there, which were a bit suspiciously named. They had Burger Queen and what was the other one? Pizza Queen.
But they smelt really good.
Yeah, they smelt really good. Well, people were buying a lot of stuff from them, especially tea. People were buying cups of tea.
And yeah, there was a lot of, like, Tetley cups.
Yeah, a lot of that. So yeah, nice setup. But it was really quite confusing when we arrived, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We didn't realise that we actually had to pick up a ticket, despite the fact that we'd already pre-booked.
Yeah.
So we went in and just, well, first of all, as we usually do, we went to the bar.
We don't do that.
Yeah. But yeah, so we walked straight in, went straight to the bar, then came out and thought, oh, well, we'll join the queue for the attraction now.
Yeah.
But once we got to the front of the queue, we suddenly noticed that everybody else had a ticket.
And we didn't.
Like a little printed off ticket. In fact, actually, in my pocket, I've got the little, like, ticket stub. So, like, that's part of the ticket.
And also,
it was a bit longer, so it was about here.
And if you want to come back...
Oh yeah, if you come back. It's £5 to get back in. I don't know if you can see that. It does say £5 with that voucher. So it is £5 to get back in.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't realise we needed them.
No.
Until we were at the front. Luckily, the guy at the front was really nice and said, "I'll just pop over," because there is actually a window as soon as you enter on the left-hand side that you actually just go in. Even if you pre-book, just go up. Whoever's there will read off your booking reference and give you a ticket.
Because obviously, like, in a normal, if it was a normal, like, setup of a scare attraction, that would be the only thing that you'll go in for. Sorry, I've got a cold. That would be the only thing that you really go in. But obviously, because it was like, it's just a normal pub, wasn't it, really?
Yeah, it's like a nightclub bar kind of thing. So, like, and again, interesting setup. They obviously think it works for Halloween.
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah. And then there was a lot of like different promo stuff on the wall, and they're doing like different events. But
yeah,
if you want to check it out, check it out. But
yeah, I mean, I'll leave the link to the actual place in the description. So when we got into the queue, we thought, well, we had an 8 o'clock time slot, and it does say that isn't the time that you'll enter the attraction. No. And I was thinking, you know, there's a bit of a queue there. You know, maybe a 15-minute wait.
It says that you should leave 2 hours for your whole trip and whole experience on the website.
Journey through the attraction. And I'm guessing they're including a bit of time at the bar as well.
Yeah, I think it's just the whole 2 hours for the event.
They recommend two hours to soak in the atmosphere. We ended up waiting in the queue for probably about 35 minutes, and there weren't actually that many people in front of us.
No, there wasn't. I say maybe about 30 to 40 people.
Yeah, it wasn't that many, and I feel like there was a bit of an issue while we were in the queue.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like groups stopped going in, so it's like I can't really judge the attraction if they've got an issue going on. But if there was nothing going on, then it's you know, a little bit bad in my opinion to be waiting 35 minutes.
Especially when they batch on the website, it says that they batch 8 people maximum amount of time, and for us I need to have like 40 people in front of us. That's only 4 groups.
But then
really.
we only have 5 people going in our groups, and I'd have been like, oh, you know, just fill it up.
Yeah.
Find an extra group of 3.
And it's always nice to have like a
smaller experience. But then I feel like the people we were within our group, I wouldn't say spoiled it for us, but they were at the front and getting a lot of the scares. And these were 3 quite large lads that were very scared.
They were very scared of dark and everything.
Even I was like, come on lads, it's just a bit of darkness, you can go through the curtain.
You even said that to them and they were like, oh.
Yeah, they were very happy with me about that one. But yeah, either way. So I wouldn't say the queue ruined it for me.
No, it didn't ruin it at all.
I did go in a little bit frustrated with how long I waited.
But then the slot before us was sold out, so I don't know whether that did.
Yeah, it could have done. Yeah. Like everything after us was all ready to buy.
Because we came out of the attraction and like it was probably about 9 o'clock and there was like half the size of the queue. There was only about 20 people in the queue, so probably if you don't want a queue, go later on in the night. Because I think it's like open from like 10, 11 o'clock at night and some
I think some really peak nights it is. And actually, that leads me on. They have just added some more time slots and some more dates for the event to open. It does open again this Friday. I think that's when it next opens again. I will have to, you know, cross-reference that, but I do believe it opens back up again on Friday, and they've added more time slots because it is really popular this year. And it shows when I was there, like, from some of the shots that you'll see, there is a lot of people there.
It's much more popular than I thought it was going to be.
I thought it would just be a little like backstreet scare attraction, which really it is. But it is a little bit backstreets.
Well, it's because it's like in the town sort of.
Yeah, it's like on the outskirts of the town, isn't it? In an area that I didn't expect it to be in.
No, it's very strange.
Yeah, but you know, it was still fantastic for.
Yeah.
You know, on the front of it looks a bit like, oh well, what am I getting myself into?
And it doesn't look like there's much room, but it's a long attraction.
Yeah, very.
I don't know how
long.
they managed to get like all the way around. But.
Yeah, I would say it's like a good 15.
Yeah.
Probably about 15-20 minutes in there. Yeah. So, which was good. I do like a good long scare attraction. The Swan Boat. They've got the Swan Boat from Alton Towers. I believe I heard a story about it or something that I think they bought it, refurbished it, and just left it to display in the pub garden.
And they've done a nice lighting job on it as well.
Yeah, it does look very nice at night. So let's get on to the actual maze itself. So, Walsall Scare Maze. I'm going to ask for your first impressions before we actually go into detail. When you first came out, what were you thinking?
I came out and I think I said to you that it did meet my expectations.
Yeah.
Like, I had a lot of people I've heard or read on the internet that they said that it was quite intense, and it was intense. They were very touchy-feely.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it wasn't as scary as I thought it was going to be, but it did meet my expectations.
I reiterate that. It met my expectations, and I definitely think it is value for money. Like, I wouldn't say it's worth any more, but I also wouldn't say it's worth any less.
Yeah.
It's like bang on, just the right price.
Yeah.
I know on peak days it is like £1 more to get in, so otherwise it's like £7.50, but we paid £8.50. If you book online as well, there is £1 booking fee per person, which I started to feel a little bit robbed by. But you know,
those booking fees,
those websites, they all got a tacked on fee, but. You know, it's worth the money just to support a small independent event as well. I always recommend supporting those small little events.
Definitely.
So the actual maze. Yeah. So we'll start off with the pre-show. Obviously, after we were in the queue, got led into the pre-show, which was like nicely detailed, I thought. I quite liked the look of it. You walk straight in and the first thing you see is a big nun face on the wall, and I was like,
oh God.
I'm not a big fan of the nun in general. Like the film terrifies me. Well, all those conjuring things. Like if it's the nun or weird faces, they mess me up. So I was on edge at that point. Then you get an actor's speech. Well, I say actor's speach.
Like a host
it's that don't
speech.
hurt the actors.
Yeah.
They may touch you. Don't touch them.
A typical batching
The
speech.
typical thing, yeah. And then so he leaves, knocks on the wall.
Yeah.
I'm guessing to prompt the actor that there's a group here. And then this red light comes on.
In front of the nun, and the
nun.
smoke also comes up in front of the red light as well.
And then the door like swings open, and there's like an actual nun stood behind.
And we're
she
like,
starts
oh.
giving that kind of like "Thy kingdom come, your will be done" kind of speech, and then leads you into these like black arched corridors, aren't they? And then that was a bit for me. I was just walking around, kind of going, "This looks nice." It's like nice archways.
Yeah,
and
we were at the back of the group as well.
The guys in front of us are absolutely like bricking it
terrified.
at this point. So I'm at that point. I think I'm giggling more about that than anything that's going on around me. And the actor behind you then sort of runs at you.
Yeah, so like I hear like footsteps behind me, massive shove in my back, and I literally went like smashed into your back.
Yeah, it was quite like.
And I was like, whoa, like. And for me, I don't want to be pushed. Like,
no, you don't really.
I don't mind like a little like shove on the back. Well, not a shove, but a little push on the back. But for me to literally fall over basically into your back. Like,
I mean, well, you would have fallen over if it wasn't for me being in front of you.
If you weren't in front of me,
I would have.
Yeah, if you weren't in front of me, I'd literally fallen flat on my face. It was a bit too much of a shove, like, for me anyway.
So that put you down a little bit while we were in there, but you know what it's like to be actors. Yeah. Sometimes you do go a little bit too far and you don't realise.
The adrenaline and everything. But at the end of the day, like it happened, like. Yeah.
But like as you continued on down the corridors, there's all these windows. I think you noticed them, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like windows in the walls, but I was expecting like a nice jump scare to come out from one of the windows, but I didn't see anything.
To be fair, because I was at the back, I was more worried about the nun behind me than anything else. So.
But yeah, I was just there kind of hoping for something to come out the windows, or like it's that kind of like put me on edge, but then it kind of fell flat. It was like I wanted something to happen, but nothing did. My next bit of enjoyment came from the guys in front of us who wouldn't go through a curtain.
Literally like a black curtain. They like lifted it and was like,
and they just screamed and fell backwards.
Because it was just dark.
I think one went in and then ran back out, and I was like, come on guys,
we need to move.
And that's the point where I went, come on lads, it's just a bit of darkness.
And they were like, huh.
And, they weren't very keen on me. So in the end, I kind of just like left them, and me and you just went round.
Yeah,
used our kind of knowledge of scare attractions, just put my hand on the wall and followed it round.
Yeah, and then they just follow behind us. Yeah.
That's a piece of advice for you all as well. If you do go into a completely pitch black area, just put your hands out to the wall and follow it round, because it'll be easy as pie that way. As we got to the end of this like weird curtain room, another nun came out and like she was pretty mental. She just went like.
I was like, what?
And so that like kind of shocked me a bit, like made me go back a bit.
Yeah.
But then we carried on. It was like we got to like a mirror corridor, didn't we? We went for it was a little bit more corridors, and then this massive like mirror maze thing.
Yeah, like floor to ceiling like mirrors, and you walked in and there was like 3 separate like rows in front of you.
They were like pillars, weren't they? Separating
and
them.
And I think because of the mirrors, it made the whole room like a lot bigger. So I was like, oh, like we're going like different ways. But you literally just went forward and you met the next person.
Yeah. So it was a bit of a like misdirection kind of thing, probably to kind of fool you a little.
But I was like, oh, I don't know where I'm going. Like,
I wonder whether that was maybe because of the structure of the building.
Yeah,
they maybe had to like put some stuff around it. But either way, carried on down that way. There were a few. I think there was one actor. Well, there was one actor just as we went into that mirror room that kind of just. I think they wanted to scare me, but they just went.
Well, for us, it takes a lot for like to scare us.
Yeah, like that. I was like. Thinking you're gonna have to do a little bit better than that to get me.
If she did that to the people, maybe like the other lads who were in our group,
then she would have got a bit scared. But yeah, we do. This is the thing with us when we go into these attractions, we don't scare easily, so we are expecting something quite big to get us. But after the mirror maze kind of room thing, we ended up at these confession booths, and these were quite cool. I thought I really enjoyed them. Like a nice little kind of scene to break up the tension.
Yeah.
So we arrived, and then there was this nun again because it is nuns.
Yeah.
It is based on like, it's called the ward, and there are nuns in like the description and stuff.
Yeah.
But then there's also like a mental hospital that you go into afterwards as well. But yeah, so this nun says, oh, you know, you're gonna go in, it's time to confess, you need to go into these confession booths. So she split up the groups, didn't she? And so the 3 lads in front of us went into a different one, and we got sent into another one. And what happened in the confession booth?
Well, it was like a rectangle room, and so we walked in, the door shut behind us, and we were like, oh, what's happening? And then I think the room suddenly just went completely black, and I was like, oh no, something's definitely happening here. And then the lights come back on, and there was an actor, like, I don't know what the character was.
I think it was like a
priest.
A priest, yeah, probably like a priest.
And he came in, and I think he was holding a candle as well. And like, he didn't say anything, but we were basically, he walked through the middle of us, and we were like on the walls to the side, and then went and stood at the other end. And then, was there a gunshot or something?
Well, it sounded like a big, like, either a big clap or like a...
It was like a whoosh, like, boom, right?
Yeah. I don't know, it was a big loud noise that kind of shook us a bit.
And then it like, started to like rain inside, like a bit like what happens in Poltergeist.
Yeah, which I like that effect. Now that I've seen it, I'm like, oh, we need more of that.
I love that effect. And I was like, oh no, like what's going on?
Yeah.
And then like all that stopped, and then he just walked back again, and then just went dark again.
I think we could tell as soon as we walked into that room though that we were going to get wet, because there was a massive puddle on the floor, and I was like...
We were like, oh, something's happening here with effects or something.
And I've got to add as well, no fault of the actor, it's just my hypersensitive hearing and senses. I could tell as soon as they came in the room.
Yeah.
And I said to you, they're in the room with us now.
Yeah.
So that's just me. Yeah. If you're going in, you probably won't notice.
I did notice it as well. So.
But then once you've worked in these attractions, you kind of know all the secrets, and you
Yeah.
can kind of hear soft footsteps.
Yeah, but like we said again, we are like we go in a lot of attractions,
Yeah.
so, and we've worked in them. So.
Yeah, so you kind of learn a few tricks of the trade, but no, it was a good room. Like I liked how it broke up the atmosphere a little bit, and it's nice to have a little bit of a show.
It's different. It's like a bit like X10 at Fort Park, where you just put on your own into a room, and it is creepy.
The way it described it on the website, I did think we were all going to be put on our own.
Yeah, but I don't like that anyway, so I was fine with it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that scares
I don't like being on my own, so I was absolutely fine.
Yeah. But after that, we went back down some more corridors.
Yeah.
I know where we went. It was into a we went into a little like room with another doctor in it who was like, there was no way out of it. I don't know. Was it a padded cell maybe?
I don't know, but he was like hidden behind something, and then we just walked through, and then he got a jump scare out of that, and then he pushed the door open.
He got me a little bit actually then, didn't he?
And then he pushed the door open, and we went in front of him.
Group. I think there's a lot of catching up in that. I think they know that not everybody is going to be moving at the same rate, and obviously we're pretty quick through these attractions. We can see quite easily, but other people don't. So it's nice that they kind of have an actor that can actually do a bit of improv with you and kind of keep you going. And
it's nice because obviously that way you also don't catch up with the group in front of you.
Yeah, it is that kind of staggering group, so that you never...
Because it is very story based in there. Like a lot of there's a couple of actors, they speak to you about what's going on, and if it was like a conga line, then it just wouldn't have the same effect. And
But so after that, the guy opened it, and then we went into some more corridors that were like, it was like a cave. It felt.
Yeah, it was just...
a lot of the way that the material they were using was pinned along, made it feel like cavey.
tight corridors and dark corridors.
And then we ended up in what was, I thought, a really cool scene, which is like these. To me, it looked like a cell. I saw like iron bars on one side and like an iron window on the other. And there was an actor that I noticed, and I went, "Where's he going?" Because he like popped out of like a drop-down window, got you, didn't he? Like grabbed you, and then like disappeared again. And I was like, "Oh, he's coming again."
Oh, because that's a bit weird. Because he separated me.
Yeah.
And I was like, "No."
And I was basically on my own, and I was just like, "Oh, I'll see you later." And then I went round a corner, and then he pops back, and then he just disappears again.
It was good.
And then all this smoke just rises, and I go, "Oh no, what's going on here?" And so I'm not afraid of smoke, so I just walk into it. But then he's in my face suddenly, and I was like, "Whoa!" And that was like my big scare of the night. Like,
it was creepy.
Like what I like about that is that that's great use of environment. That's not just pinning all your scares on one person. That's going for multiple people, even if they don't look scared.
Yeah.
And I don't look scared in these attractions, do I? Right. So he pops out, gets me, really good.
It was a good scare.
Because I can be scared quite easily, just so long as you use the right kind of techniques.
It was a really
like
good scare. I really liked that.
That actor was fantastic, I thought. Like, really made great use of it. Yeah, it was just still really smoky around that point, wasn't it? Blimey, thinking back to it, I was like... I like the smell of smoke fluid. So then after that we went into like a lab, didn't we?
Yeah!
Well, I say we went into the lab, we were dragged, basically grabbed and moved into this lab by this like weird scientist that looked like Elton John.
He did.
He actually looked a hell of a lot like Elton John. And I was like, what is going on here? Why have we been captured and submitted to look like torture by Elton John? He was quite amusing. He brought us in and he was like, oh, welcome to the lab. If you need the toilets over there.
Because there was just a toilet in the
corner and a bathtub. It didn't look much like a lab.
No, but the bathtub had like a model, like a mannequin in it, and I thought it was gonna like pop out at me. So I was literally standing at the what's it called? The bathtub.
The bathtub. Yeah.
I was like, what? I was literally stood next to the bathtub, going, oh no! So it's gonna literally like fly at me, and I'm gonna fly into the wall.
But it's quite a cool little room. It's like this whole maze was quite, I wouldn't say well detailed, but it was well themed.
Yeah.
And like it did, you were in the rooms that they said that you were in, apart from maybe the lab, because that felt more like the lavatory rather than the laboratory. Maybe he said lavatory.
Maybe he said
Because I thought he said laboratory, but maybe he said lavatory. Ah.
Whichever way.
If it was lavatory, it works quite well because it was obviously the lavatory.
But then lab makes sense as well. I don't know.
Either way. But he went on this kind of like spiel about he was actually going to try and help us, like the nuns had locked us away and there was no way out. But he said that he knew this secret route that we could get out and told us like a riddle, but gave us the answer. He was like, you've got to search the room, hunt low, and pointed at a...
He was like, hunt low!
Which meant we had to go down through a crawl tunnel. So, you know, I led the group. Me and you went straight through the crawl tunnel.
Yeah.
Very low that was, and padded. Nice and padded that was.
Yeah, even for me.
I could have slept
Even for me it was low, and like, usually things aren't that bad, I could just walk through it.
Yeah. And then we got through it pretty quickly, and we ended up in like this bedroom
But
thing.
it was just us two. The other three, we were like,
We don't know what happened. Well, I'd like to know what happened, whether they were attacked by Elton John or something, but I don't know. So we ended up in this bedroom, and then we had to wait for a while for the others to join us.
Yeah.
And there was just this nun sat on the bed that kind of like stared at us.
Just looked at us, and then I was like, so I felt around the room trying to like get out, and I was like, I could see where the door was, but I pushed it and it wouldn't open, so I was like, okay, we need to stay here then.
Yeah, so we stayed there.
But we were there for quite a while because the other group didn't hurry or anything, and I was like,
for like probably a good 30 seconds to a minute, I'd say.
Yeah, and the nun was just looking at us and was like...
Eventually the group did join us. Scientist guy Elton John said to us, like, don't mention the name Sebastian.
Oh,
in my mind, I thought that was his name. Like, oh, don't tell them that Sebastian helped you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit. I
got a bit confused at that bit.
Yeah. But then eventually, so we got into this bedroom, and then she starts going like, Sebastian.
And I'm like, oh no.
And I'm like, you're not meant to say the name. He said not to say the name, and now he's saying the name, and. But either way, they said Sebastian, then all these strobes started going on.
Yeah, and then the floor had like orange, like fire.
Yeah, if you've been in Darren Brown's Ghost Train, the scene in, well, the middle.
Yeah.
It's like a similar effect to that, where there's lots of like cracks in the
and it's like
in
orange
the floor
lighting
and,
and like.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that was like hell.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like a passage to hell was opening. So that was kind of cool. And then it took me a while to notice because this nun was running around like mad.
She was climbing over the bed, impacting us, and I was like, whoa, it's getting a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Here.
And then I suddenly noticed that there's this giant puppet nun like on the wall,
It's
just kind of
massive.
going like rah.
It's really big as well. It's just like the back like.
Yeah, that was weird, and I noticed that, and then all the strobes went off, and it was still on the wall, and then the nun kind of like led us out.
The door that I thought it was in.
Yeah, out of that same door, and there were like these gel cell kind of like gate that she opened, and we went out.
Yeah, and you went forward, but then like out of the jail cell, she like grabbed me, and I was like, whoa!
Yeah, so that was a good scare for
I
you,
like that
wasn't
one,
it?
yeah.
So I think in the maze you got a lot more scares than I did.
Yeah.
You got a lot more attention and stuff.
Yeah, I did get separated and like touched a lot in the group in the maze, but I don't know whether you did.
Yeah, I didn't really get that much. So then we exited into the bar, and it was a bit of an anticlimax, I thought.
It's such a strange ending, like, because
Yeah.
we knew that it ended in the bar because we went to the bar beforehand and saw people coming out, so we were like, oh, okay, it ends in the bar. But it's just a strange feeling.
It didn't feel like that was the end.
No.
I felt like there was more to come, and then it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
just walking into the bar and you could get a drink.
And that's when
Which we did.
and that's when they because they do photos before you go in, and you can buy the photo at the bar as well.
Yeah. It was cool. Like,
Yeah.
I liked the attraction, and I didn't feel like, you know, I'd been robbed of my money. I felt
definitely
like
not.
I definitely paid for a decent experience, which is what I got.
It was a good
experience. I just felt like it was lacking something, and I can't put my finger on it. Like, I think maybe I just didn't get as many scares as I thought I was going to get. Maybe I went in overhyped, which is why in this review I'm trying not to overhype it for you. I say go to it, like, you'll have a great time, but don't go in thinking like this is going to be one of the best experiences you've ever had. Like, it is really good, great value for money. It's a fun little event for like the night,
Yeah.
and you'll have some fun, but
Yeah.
don't go in thinking like I'm going to have the best scare of my life.
But then we've heard from other people that they got so like
Yeah.
they jumped a lot. They got a very intense run. I don't know whether it's just our run just wasn't
Maybe.
the best, but at the end of the day, like, either good run or bad run, like, you're never gonna be
It's
the
a
same.
50-50
Yeah,
chance.
it's never
Like,
gonna
you're
be the
either
same
gonna
as
get-
someone else.
Yeah. And, you know, maybe it's because we had the other guys in our group that were really scared, so maybe the actors were focusing on them.
Yeah.
It's like I say to most actors in these mazes, don't just rely on the ones that look scared. Go for others.
Go for
It's an
everyone.
easy trap to get stuck
Yeah.
in, is to scare the ones that look scared.
Because it's the easy, but
That's the easy
go
way
for,
out.
Go for
Go for
everyone.
everyone, because I can get scared if you go about it the right
And
way.
when you get scared,
Oh, it's great.
It's
It's
hilarious.
great. I mean, just ask Ash Hill Penitentiary at Extreme Screen Park. Ask the floor,
Went to the
because I
floor?
hit the floor. Yeah, so go for everyone.
Yeah.
Don't just go for the ones that look scared, because you'll have a great time, and that's to the actors out there. Also, to the guests going out there through it, act scared, because you will get a lot more, like, you act a lot more scared than you actually are in those
Yeah.
mazes, don't you? And you do often get a
Don't
lot...
tell anyone my secret, John.
But you do actually get a lot more scares that way, don't
Yeah.
you?
No, so, to be fair, sometimes I'm like, I say that I'm not scared, but I am actually quite scared.
Yeah. I guess
prefer-
it's maybe not scared, but more like kind of on edge.
I'm always on edge, and if something scares me, you get me. Like,
Same with me, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, Walsall Scare Maze. Really good attraction, like, very well priced. And the beer's quite cheap as well. Can't complain at that. What would you give it? Final ranking at, like, how many pumpkins?
out of 5,
Yeah, 5. How many pumpkins out of 5?
I'd say a 3.
Yeah, I think I'd agree.
Because I'd say
3 pumpkins.
it met my expectations. It didn't. My expectations. It didn't lower it. It didn't like go above it. It literally met my expectations. So I'm going to give it straight in the middle. 3 out of 5 pumpkins.
Yeah, 3 out of 5 for me as well. So, what were the dates that it runs?
So
Mind you, we're halfway through.
Yeah, so-
near the end of October.
So
now anyway,
we're recording this on the 30th of October, so it runs tonight, tomorrow Halloween, and the 2nd and the last night is the 3rd of November.
And they have plenty of time slots.
Yeah.
So yeah, get booking. I'll leave a link in the description for you to book your tickets for it. It's in Walsall,
Yeah.
near Wolverhampton. Quite easy to get to. There's
Yeah.
plenty of like road networks around that area.
Yeah.
Really good fun.
Good night.
Yeah, great value.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, thanks very much for watching the review. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and make sure to subscribe to see more, well, I guess scary content for now. We'll be going back to the kind of normal stuff soon, so don't worry. We'll see you in the next video.